Hey everybody, Nick here, and today we're going to do a disassembly that's been very regularly requested on the channel, and that's of one of these little guys. This is the Z-Hunter. It's got a model name, it's the ZB-138, but, oh, it's just the Z-Hunter to me. So, anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on originally. It's worth noting, though, this is not the original Z-Hunter. The original Z-Hunter, actually, its stop pin came flying out of there, so now it's got some pretty serious vertical blade play. This guy is actually in pretty good shape, all told. Blade centering is favoring the show side a little bit. The action is smooth-ish. There's no horizontal or vertical blade play. Still a piece of crap, but nonetheless. So let's go on ahead and take it down here and see what we can do. Oh, the Z-Hunter. Alright, you're going to notice first off that there are only 3 screws we have to worry about. There's this guy, which is an Allen key bit. And I'm trying to figure out which size. This was 3/32 and seemed a little small. Maybe 7/64. Is that a little bigger? Could that be it? No, that's a little too big. Do I have a medium-size Allen key? No, I do not. Well, I think we're just going to have to use... Is that coming out? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Hey, that worked. So it's not exactly 3/32, but it did do the trick. It's probably some crazy metric size or something like that. But anyways, so there's that. And now we're going to have to use a Phillips driver here for these 2 back screws to remove these. That's not working out. Let's try a different size. Maybe that's too pointy. We can see here. Oh, good God. This is taking a little bit of torque here. There we go, but we got it out. I cannot wait to see what the inside of this guy looks like, because this is just... Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the assist spring just kind of made the knife jump out of my hand there, which is a little sketchy. Let's pop this other Phillips out of here. Got the thumb hoping the blade won't pop open. Wow, that was pretty excellent right there. And now we got ourselves a pile of Z-Hunter here. Okay, back screw is back there, middle screw, and the pivot is up front here. Oh, the Z-Hunter. What a freaking joy this is. Alrighty. So, a couple of things I got to point out here immediately. You will note that the pocket clip is screwed right into the plastic here. There's not any metal. It's not going through to a liner. This pocket clip is mounted entirely in plastic. And in fact, oh, good God, it actually looks like the screws themselves are going straight into the plastic here. If we look at the screws, yep, right there, zombie green. So that's going to be touch and go as we put this guy back together. That's no good. We can see here we've got an assist bar here, and it doesn't look all that much different than any than your regular Kershaw Speed Safe assist here. Doesn't need to be, it's just a bar. There we go. Pop that open. Check for any open cuts as I coat my hand in rubbing alcohol. Ow. So there you go. Just wiping down the scales here. Oh, the Z-Hunter. Other things I can point out about this knife. I mean, really, it is just a conventional liner lock in its construction. There's nothing really that different about this knife than the, say, any little Kershaw Speed Safety guys. Fundamentally, it works in the same way. It's got all those sorts of things. It does have a detent ball, although it's not actually a ball. If you take a close look at the detent here, hopefully you can see that. This is actually like a little piece of rod or something along those lines that's been inserted and then ground off in order to create some kind of a detent. That's deeply, deeply ugly, but it's a Z-Hunter, so what do you want? So there we go, there's that. The blade itself looks largely fine. You can see that they've done this paint onto the blade itself, also where the detent ball rolls, and so the detent is wearing this paint off of there. Not terrible, but it is something to keep in mind. This blue, by the way, was a little bit of ink from I was testing a pen. Go ahead and clean off the washers here. The washers are the same on both sides, and they're very, very small, so the blade is not well supported, laterally speaking, on this particular pocket knife, but that's not exactly, well, this isn't exactly a hard use sort of tool anyways. Okay, you can also see that the pivot is DLC coated in its entirety. The inside of the DLC coated, I'm sorry, it's spray painted. I'm too used to taking apart knives that are worth a damn. Not that the Z-Hunter doesn't have its charms, but still. Just soaking up some of this booze that I spilled everywhere onto this Q-tip here. I'm going to go ahead and slide it on the inside. In terms of big cut corners here, the Teflon washers, by the way, as you can see these on the Spyderco or Burroughs, or what else has Teflon inexcusably? On this guy, it's a gas station. Holy crap, I'm flinging alcohol all over the place. Just a second here. Clean the booze. I got Sleesh Buoy. Got a little bit of booze on it here. Sleesh Boozy, more like it, huh? Okay, that was terrible. But anyways, other cut corners here. The Teflon washers are ugly. Always. But it's the Z-Hunter. The fact that the screws go right into the plastic right there is just tragic. This stop pin is a charming little affair because if you can see here, this is like a little piece of metal rod or something, or even like a little metal pellet or something. You can see it's just trimmed off by a jaw. It's not machined or anything like that, which is probably why it came flying out of the original Z-Hunter. And it just sits into this little hole in the liners here. It's not shouldered. It's not really anything. So there you go. And yeah, aside from that, it's just another pocket knife, just not made so well. Here is your speed. I keep wanting to say your speed safe mechanism, but that's not it. What this actually does, this works just like the Kershaw speed safe, because you've got this little spring trapped in there, and then when you fold the knife up, this spring goes under some tension and just sits in this pocket here, which is, well, I mean, there it is. And it is what it is, and then that provides a little bit of force when you pop the knife back open here. Because this is a assisted speed safety sort of knife, I'm going to go ahead and just dunk the back side of this into some grease here, get it nice and greasy. That will help to prevent any rattle from this spring. It'll just kind of let that stick around in there a little bit better. It's absolutely unnecessary, and in many ways I probably used more money on the grease than this knife is worth. But, you know, hey, I only the best for the Z-Hunter. So, as I'm putting this guy back together, I'm going to make sure that this right here is in the hole in the proper position there. Next thing I'm going to do is start the reassembly on the backside. Let's go ahead. I got a little bit of grease on there. I'm going to go ahead and use some nano oil because, again, I want to use only the very best for the Z-Hunter here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the pivot through here. You'll note that this pivot is entirely free spinning, which is, well, just excellent. Just like on your Shirogorov Neon here. Yeah, shots fired. Even the big names make mistakes. There we go. Put a little bit more lubrication up onto the pivot screw there. Now, next thing to do is going to be to put a little bit of... Oh, wow. Look at that. There's not even a detent hole. Oh, that's spectacular. How did I not notice this? There's not a detent hole. There's just... the speed safe is the detent, so they don't need a detent thing like this. Why is that even on there? I just don't know. Well, either way, I'm going to lube the detent rod, detent cut-off piece of wire path a little bit here. Oh, that's terrible. Got the lock face on this guy. Burr like freaking crazy on there. And then I'm going to drop this back onto here. There we go. I'm going to drop the stop pin in now. Or the stop cut-off piece of wire, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of lubrication into the speed safe hole. That's not technically speed safe, but same basic idea. I'm going to go ahead and put a washer back onto here and onto there. Okay, now, these little things right here are surrounds for these backspacer screws to try and make it look like it's not just a screw holding this thing together. Unfortunately, these are a pain in my neck for a variety of reasons, but the biggest one is that they require me to really, they're not captive in any way, so I need to drop these screws through as I destroy everything. I need to drop these screws through and then kind of spear these little rings as I'm doing so, as I'm lowering this, as I'm putting the knife back together. So, I'm going to put those on there. Try and get those two speared on there. Excellent. Okay, good. We're in. That's back together. Now, I'm going to start off. Oh, man. Now I need to get the speed safe in the right position. So what I'm doing here, you can see, I hope, that inside there's that little pin, and I'm just going to try and find the, oh, you little bugger. Try and find the little hole for it to go into. But now my washer is shifted. Oh, I have dreamed a dream, and now that dream is gone from me. And we're back to square one here. Oh, what a joy. Oh, damn it. Now I'm... Oh. It's also worth noting that you risk contagion by disassembling this guy. The Z-Hunter is really... There's some danger here. If you take this guy apart, well, you can't look into the abyss without the abyss looking back into you. And now these screws have fallen out. Excellent. The shorter of them goes in the middle. As I think I said in my original video, my hat's off to the 12-year-old who put this thing together the first time. This is not straightforward to do, even with all the experience in the world. And as a relatively well-known zombie knife enthusiast, I don't really love that that label applies, but I can't also dispute it. So what I'm going to try and do this time is I'm going to try and put this little pin inside the hole and get that trapped to start with. Oh, come on, you little bugger. Just trying to get that in there. There we go. Okay, so that's in. Now I'm going to see if I can't move this washer to be in roughly the right position. I'm going to see if I can drop the whole affair onto the pivot. Now this is honestly bad news, bears. Come on now. Now my stop pin is out of whack. And that's causing me some troubles here. Why do I use crappy knives? Okay. Now I'm going to try and put this... Oh, you little bugger. Oh, that's why the liner lock is all the way to the other side, because... Well, because this is just spectacularly well built. So we've got a stop pin there. Why is this not pinching together properly? Everything looks good from the top. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is try and, with the other hand, swap to another bit. Good Lord. I know, I'm just going to make a fun little video and disassemble the Z-Hunter. LOL, this is going to be hilarious and straightforward because it's a cheapy little knife, he says. He was wrong. I'm going to go ahead and put a little Loctite. I'm still holding this guy with the other hand here, so trying to do this all one-handed. Being generous with the Loctite because I don't want to have to do this again. All right, now I'm going to try and just screw this in there. Okay, beautiful. So now my next step, we've got a stop pin in there. something's off here, but... yeah. Okay, there we go. So the lock is now engaged. Now what I need to do is drop these little back spaces onto these screws. Oh, come on, you little bugger. I'm just trying to pop that in there. Z-Hunter. Why you gotta do me like this? These are wonderfully slick. Okay. So now you can't see this, unfortunately, but I've got it between there. I'm just kind of tapping the bottom of this with the hope, the dream, the desire that this goes onto that little hole so I can spear it with the screw. Oh, no. Okay, new strategy. I'm going to try and put it around this plastic collet here. Collet? Collar. There we go. And then insert the screw afterwards. I don't know that this is going to work out either. Something's a little messed up here. Oh, there we go. I needed to release the lock bar tension for things to align properly here. Properly. Okay, good. So that's in there. Now I'm going to do the next one. And again, I'm just trying to pop this onto there. Oh, you little bugger. Oh. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you reassemble, well, why you don't disassemble these sorts of cheapy knives generally. They are built together in such a way that you put them together exactly once, and you never do so again. I think I've got it. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Just pop it over a little bit. Hey, okay, it's in. So I've got my two back spaces in. Now I'm going to screw those down. Oh, Z-Hunter. Why must loving you hurt so much? Okay. Now, this is probably out of alignment. Okay, good. It's going into the plastic now. I got to be very careful not to over-torque this, because then it'll just strip out the plastic, and I'd hate to ruin this knife. Okay, good. Now, the lock bar, the pivot tension is actually good. There's no vertical or horizontal blade play. The centering is fine. Holy crap, it runs smoother. Aside from everything wrong with it, there's nothing wrong with it that happened. Cool. Hey, I did it. Go figure, right? I gave myself poor odds in actually being able to get this guy back together in a decent way. There's no rattling from the speed safe or whatever assist mechanism in there. Man, all right. So, we got a Z-Hunter. It's good to go. Nothing stripped out. Aside from some pain and tribulation, everything went back. Alrighty, well, I hope that was helpful and interesting to you, and that you frankly don't buy this knife, and that if you do, you don't disassemble it. But now, in case you ever decide to go there, well, by God, you're going to be prepared. And hopefully it also gives you a nice little insight into some of the ways that you can cut corners when making a terrible Chinese zombie knife. Or frankly, a terrible American zombie knife. I'm not discriminatory like that. I hope this has been interesting to you, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful and non-contaminated rest of your day. Bye now.